Tenho pensado em nós, como é que estamos? No final, eu vi que nunca estive tão bem. Tenho pensado em nós, onde é que vamos? Para uma terra onde eu sei que não mora ninguém.
Let's wait for everybody to join us.
Nunca vi mulher tão bonita assim. Diz-me o que tu queres de mim. Se quiseres levo-te a Paris. Nunca vi mulher tão bonita assim. Diz-me o que tu queres de mim, porque eu sou. Ai, 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 eu gosto dessa mulher. Quero tê-la ao pé de mim, beijá-la quando quiser. Ai, 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 eu gosto dessa mulher. Quero tê-la ao pé de mim, beijá-la quando quiser. Eu só quero beijá-la e eu só quero amá-la.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Nice to be back from my trip. Holy moly. Had a good time. It was really fun. I shared a lot of my trip with you guys, so you got to see the places I went to visit and the festivals that I went and took part in, which was a lot of fun. It was a great time. It was a great time for the family. It was a great time to spend time with my parents. Really gave me a chance to reconnect and, you know, just focus on what life is all about and, you know, future plans and all that stuff. So it was good. It was a good time for me. So I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys all very much. And I've been keeping track of the markets, been looking at gold, silver, the index, tracking euro. As you know, I'm interested in going short the euro, and I've been watching that one go higher. So quite strange, but we're going to take a look at all those things, and we're going to look at what's been going on with those markets. I still think that euro is going to be dropping hard. Not think, I know the euro is going to be dropping hard, and it's just a matter of time of that happening. So we're going to look at those markets together and see what's going on, and then yeah, just catch up with you guys. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so let's start by taking a look at gold. I have gold up here, and it looks like we got a little bit higher. We reached that weekly target that we had. If you guys remember, we had a weekly target that I had placed here on the chart. That was using some target location methods that we use here at the school. We located this target at 35.47. We hit it and surpassed it. Okay. According to the weekly time frame, there isn't much demand here, but on the monthly time frame, it looks like we're creating some significant area of buying here. Well, it's too early to really tell if this is going to end up being significant buying, but it's in the process of being significant buying. Okay, it might be, it might not be, but we're gonna wait and see. All right, it's kind of early, like I said, to know, but we're gonna watch and see what that does in the near future. So let's see what else is going on here. Big push to the upside. Look at the RSI 88. I mean, this is way overdone. Way overdone. All right. This is just people being really greedy, really excited about going long and pushing price to the upside. We got demand coming in here. Look at that. Okay. So that is what's going on right now. We have institutional demand coming in here. Is it going to last? Who knows? It's hard to say. Could they continue to push it up higher? Yeah, I'm sure they could, but this is against the odds. All right. Once this gets taken out, that opens up for a move down and then down even further. And I think when they start taking some significant profits on their euro, we're going to see this sucker drop. It's just a matter of time. All right. Welcome back, Mr. Kevin. Good afternoon. Thank you. So to me, it's just a matter of time until this drops, and then we'll wait to see what significant areas of demand there are, and see if there's any signals from there. Okay, silver. Looks like it's starting to drop from a daily area of supply. These are zones that I located while I was away, was doing some analysis. I located that zone. And we got an initial reaction. RSI is very strong here. Look at the RSI, very strong. I had red circle, green circle, meaning forecasting a move to the downside. I think it's time. This is on the daily time frame. And on the 4-hour time frame, it looks like we got the push to the downside, which was pretty good. But RSI creeping past that 40 mark when it dropped. I don't like that too much, but it could produce another bearish engulfing signal here, which would signal a move to the downside. Could, okay? That's the word. So I'm going to be watching that. There is demand down here on the weekly time frame, so there's not much of a move to the upside off of that area of demand, so not very significant, okay? But if you remember, okay, I mentioned to our members, we had institutional demand here. And then on the weekly time frame, I had this institutional demand here, and I wrote here, watch for a move up. And look, price came down and moved up from there. That's 3,600 area, all the way up to 42. $36 to $42. That's a massive, massive move, okay? So I'm going to be watching for a short-term move to the downside from this daily area of supply. And we'll see how that unfolds next week. Might have a trade there. I'll be watching for that one, okay? Next, we have the dollar. Let's take a look at the dollar. All right, so we've been talking about the dollar for some time. And I told you that we had a major institutional demand zone that was being contacted, okay? Now, if you remember, if you've been following along on our live sessions, you would know that I was pointing out something really important here. On the weekly time frame, when price came down and hit this demand, what was the RSI? It was very weak. Take a look at that. I said, if there's going to be a shift of momentum to the upside, we need this momentum to shift first, okay? So we got the push to the upside, not the greatest, right here. And then we got the move to the downside, not the greatest again, because we'd be watching for a momentum candle to the downside to be created. And that's not really what happened. So this shift of momentum is very sloppy. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Look how many candles, all right, where it did next to nothing, all right? But we got another move to the downside. Look where it contacted, back at that demand zone. And more importantly, look at where the RSI is. It's at 37. So it's building up strength, okay? Building up strength for maybe the move to the upside. I got my targets here at 101, and I suspect this is in the process of taking place. So there's going to be some nice trades to the long side on the dollar pairs. And again, we've been talking about long dollar pairs for some time now, and I've been sharing my thoughts with you guys on that, okay? So let's jump right into the euro, because the euro's going to be moving to the downside. Dollar up, euro down. So it's about timing this move to the downside. Well, you know that we had this imbalance that I was talking about here on the weekly time frame. It wasn't a demand zone, but just an imbalance. But nonetheless, we had price come down to this area and contact this area and respect the area. And we got a somewhat of a move to the upside. If you take a look, though, look at what's happening right now. Remember I told you we have a range up here? Look at this. Look at this spike up and then immediately, the move back to the downside, keeping price within this area. Very interesting, okay? Now, while I was away, I was doing some analysis on this chart, and I was looking at the daily time frame. And I drew in this demand. This is an important demand zone, guys. Okay, a very important demand zone, because if you know what chart is in play, then you know what's likely going to happen. And I always say this, right? So I took a short trade based off of this area of supply here. Now, it was a decent odds trade because we knew that the banks need to take profits on long positions. The only thing is that this zone was not being created off of a higher time frame area of supply. So there was a little bit of risk on that trade. So I got stopped out right here when price broke through that zone. That's fine. But did I know what zone was in play? Yes, I did. I knew what time frame was in play, and it was the daily. Why is that? Because when this area got taken out, right here, it produced an institutional buying zone right here. And that buying zone, price retraced right back to it right here, and price shot up like a rocket. Look at that. See that big move? It originated here because that's the buying that came in that was responsible for removing this massive selling zone that was contacted once, twice, 3 times, okay? So that got taken out. New demand came into play. The banks started buying again. Even though we were really, really close to maximizing on long positions, when we look at the CFTC data, we can see that they came in and bought again. So they came in and bought again, and they bought one more time, significantly, right here, okay? So this is the area that we need to be focused on, right here, because right now, we know the time frame that we're supposed to be focusing on is the daily time frame. What does that tell us? That tells us that short-term buying or selling is what's pivotal right now, because it's going to develop into something bigger, all right? And I believe that it's the short-term selling that's going to really start to trigger a massive fall in price. And so for us to know when this is going to happen, I believe this zone being removed is going to be a major indication of when price is going to drop hard. Okay, so going into next week, I'm going to be watching this area of demand because that's the latest area where the banks are buying. And if they remove that area of demand and they come in with selling, then that's going to be an indication to me that we're very likely going to start seeing a continued selling from that area. So I'm going to be watching this one. I'm going to short this sucker again. I'm not going to let this one slip through my fingers. I shorted it. I took a loss, but I'm going to get back in here because I am not going to miss out on this trade. I'll tell you, there's been so many times in the past where I was very certain price was going to drop, and I took the trade, but I ended up being early, and then I see these new zones coming in, and because I took the original loss, I held back. I didn't want to trade it again. And then I end up watching the big move take place from a zone that was responsible for removing new demand. And so I've seen this happen so many times, I'm not going to let it happen again. So I'm going to be focusing on this one very, very closely next week and watching for that move to the downside. Okay. So I want you guys to be focusing on that next week as well. Just watch the dynamic of this, okay? Because I told you I believe the daily time frame was in play, and it's so pivotal to know what time frame is in play. Because when you know what's in play, then you know what to watch out for, okay? And look, I don't have to tell you. You could see the zone that came in here, okay? I'm not making this stuff up. You could see it was removed here, right? The big imbalance that existed before that was here. That's the demand area. Boom. And then we shot up like a rocket. So I'm going to be looking at the CFTC data when it comes out. I got 2 weeks of data to catch up on because while I was away, I wasn't looking at any of the CFTC data. I was really focusing these last 2 weeks on spending time with my parents and my family and just enjoying the wonderful nature that I was surrounded by. But now I'm back in the saddle. I'm going to be making a coffee, going to be getting back into the groove. I'm going to be looking at the latest set of data and the last couple weeks that I missed as well. So I'm going to do some analysis on that, see what's going on, and then I'll have a better idea of what's been playing out here. But I can see, just looking at the supply and demand that's happening on the charts, I basically know what's going on, okay? So that's going to be a big one. Aussie, very interesting one, because we had institutional supply on a multi-time frame that we are watching, and they broke through that. But if you take a look at this Look at this time frame. Very interesting. This big push to the downside. It looks like there was a big reversal up there. What was going on, guys? What was the news? I know that you guys were mentioning, let me see, I haven't taken a look yet. I know one of you were mentioning how there was some data that came out recently. This week, let's see, September. But yesterday was what? Pound interest rate. Let me take a look at the pound. What did they do with the pound? The pound interest rate stayed at 4 and it dropped price to the downside. Ooh, key demand. And it removed it. Oof, this is big. This is telling me high odds that demand zone that we're in right now and the euro is going to break through, guys. This is big. Big, big, big. What else did we get? We had a speech. Bank of Japan interest rate. Oh, God, I can't wait to look at that. Let's see what happened today on the US dollar, Japanese yen. Big move up from demand. Yeah, this is holding quite well. Big reversals, eh? Big reversals, and they kept it the same. Fed interest rate, they dropped it 0.25%. They dropped the rates 0.25%. Everybody thought, yeah, big spike to the downside. Inside demand. Holy smokers, man. This is setting up. Look at this, okay? That was on the 17th. Yeah, that's right. That's when they came out with the Fed interest rate decision. So the consensus was 4.25. Previous was 4.5. They dropped it. And so dropping rates, weak for the dollar. Everybody sells. Institutional demand. Banks buy. Reverse it to the upside. So this is good. This is good. What I'm seeing here looks like a really good setup. Okay. And what we have on Tuesday? Not much. And Monday. Okay, whatever. FOMC. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. Good. I like that. This is a nice setup. Pound. So the pound, we had a key demand zone here being removed. Responded from supply up here. Key demand, removes it, move to the downside. This is good. This is very good. I can't wait to look at the CFTC data, the latest set of data. You have no idea. I'm so pumped. So excited about it. Okay, so let's look at US CAD. Not doing much, eh? Up, down, and latest is down. Swiss holding, and US dollar, Japanese yen up. Somewhat up. Okay, good. Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Woo! Contacted that supply zone that was recently contacted before, dropped. And yeah, we got the move to the upside just as I expected. Boy, oh boy, right? Got that move to the upside. Here's where I was expecting price. But what I wanted was for price to drop here and give me the move up. Okay. And it just moved up instead and just contacted that area. So now if it comes down here, I wouldn't buy blindly off of that demand zone. I need to look for a signal here because now price is ranging. And when price is ranging in this situation, it's lower odds that that move is going to happen as I had wanted. Okay. But I'll continue to monitor this one because we got the weekly demand zone in play. Remember I told you? Beautiful area for a long trade signal. Okay. Price came down and look at the move that's starting to the upside. Beautiful. Okay. Really nice move so far. That's looking pretty good. And what else do we got? Let's go over to the S&P. More moves to the upside. Right about to hit our long-term target. It's too darn bad that price just didn't want to drop. Mother. Sheesh. When it was, I just wanted this to capture this. God. And it fell short of it and just moved up. Unbelievable. That just totally just sucks. And on the daily chart, it was quite a mess. We had demand here that was removed, supply created, demand removed, supply created, and then supply removed, demand created, and then it used that demand zone to shoot up to the upside. So Not the way I wanted it to play out, but that's how it is, right? So we were waiting for those higher probability moves, and it just shot up like a rocket beforehand. Just like on the NASDAQ. I wanted it to drop to this institutional buying zone here for a move to the upside. It just did it without me. Not much I can do about it. Yeah. But by the way, you guys see my hat? See my new hat? Nice, eh? Azores. Is it backwards or you can see it properly? I was looking all over the place when I was down there for a nice hat because I like to get a hat for every place I go to. And for the life of me, I couldn't find a nice quality one. They were all like very low quality type hats, which I wasn't interested in. And then at the airport, I found this baby. Well, actually, my wife did. And I liked it, so I got it. Long-term target reached on Dow Jones. Look how close we got to that move to the downside here. Look how close. And then boom, my target reached. Okay. Moved up exactly to where I wanted to get in or get out of my trade. So instead of it coming all the way down to the weekly area of demand, it came down to daily area of demand and then shot up like a rocket. Bonds, I saw bonds shooting up, which was nice. My position on it is doing pretty well. Been pocketing a lot on dividends with this sucker, so I'm going to still wait for this to play out. And then we got some stocks that we were watching, a lot of stocks that we were watching. Look at BABA. Wow. Wow. What did I tell you? I told you guys. Those that are in the classes with me, those members with me, I've been talking about BABA for a long time. I said, this sucker's going to go. It's going to go. It's going to go. We got in. We rode price, waiting for another entry, and just shot up like a rocket. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. It's about to take out this area of supply, and then our next target is 205. Big move. I told you I spotted big institutional buying, and there you have it. Okay, so BABA was one on my list. NVO. So these are stocks that were big trending stocks before I left to Portugal, and I wanted to keep my eye on them. I was waiting for some signals on here. It looks like we're getting some bullish pressure here. BBAI, another one that I was watching for, in supply now. Wait for supply to be removed and then buy. DDOG came down to institutional demand on the weekly time frame, and then shot up. Oh, you like the music that I had at the beginning? It was pretty cool, right? Yeah, good tune. Good tune. Oh, look at Gevo removing weekly supply. That's pretty good. New demand coming in. Wait for retracements and buy. And then look at the big drop on Oscar. This was a lot. This was being talked about quite a lot before I took off, and it's a hot stock. But when it came into supply, I told you stay away. Okay, I probably saved you guys a lot of money. Those that were interested in buying this one came down. Look at the imbalance on the weekly time frame. We're responding to it to the upside. Weekly supply out for longs. JP Morgan, we had a long signal on this one, worked out to perfection, hit our target. Look what happened when our target was reached. It's pretty interesting how that works, isn't it? And then drops. Okay, our targets are selected in areas where we believe the institutions are going to take profits, and that's what took place, as you can see by that big drop. AMD retracing now, just falling short of our institutional demand zone where we want to go long. SE looks pretty good. SMI, I'm very interested in getting long. SMI, just waiting for the right signal to be produced. I previously was in this one, took my profits, was a very good trade. And USLM, very good, needed weekly to be taken out. That took place, created demand. Boom, demand came into play and shot up like a rocket. Amazon, still waiting on this one. AXP had a long signal on this one. And look, weekly sequence demand, price came down, shot up like a rocket. And look, I gave this one to members. Big winner in the portfolio. Look at this, okay? I had a green circle here, which meant buy, and I had a red circle here, which meant sell. Buy here, sell here, and look at that. Okay, stop loss below weekly demand, and look at how perfectly this is playing out right now. Institutional buying and selling, guys. Once you know how to locate the institutional buying and selling, and you know what time frame is in play, the trades just work like magic. It's pretty incredible. AMBA waiting on this one. So is a good one too. Came into this demand zone, key zone for a move higher. Look at that. Price came in, boom, hit our target, and look at the sell-off taking place now. Interesting, eh? From our target here, and we have a secondary target at 101.84. So we're still waiting for that one. And demand for a long came in. It's holding it so far. I'm going to wait for a long signal. Wait for a supply to be taken out, and then away we go. Okay. Tesla, let's see. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. For those who've been following me and following the analysis, I pointed out this in zone here. Oh yeah, I did. I told you that was an important zone. We're very likely going to see buying from that area. Extremely likely. And look what's happening. Buying, institutional buying. Target 1 hit. Target 2 up here. We got target 3 even higher. It's like magic. People are like, how did you know? How did you know? Because there was a lot of bad news down here. Remember? All the bad news? You remember when Trump came out and talked smack about Elon Musk, and they're like, ooh, it's going to be bad for the stock. And I'm like, it's happening inside an institutional buying zone. They're doing this on purpose to get everybody to offload their shares. Remember I said that, guys? I hope you don't forget these things, because these are important lessons for you to take from all this, okay? Price coming into institutional demand, and then all of a sudden Trump had this tiff with Elon Musk. Everybody's like, oh, it's no good for the stock. I said, no. That's when the big banks are going to start buying, when everybody's offloading the shares to them. And look, okay? Told you. I told you so. And Berkshire Hathaway was another one that I was watching. We are reacting from institutional demand right now. Good chance we see price at higher. I got an area of supply here I'm watching. Once it's removed, I'm going to be getting into a long position. Okay, all right. So that is pretty much it, folks. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. I am back. I'm going to start digging back into my work. I love what I do. I missed it so much. Yes, I love being on vacation for 2 weeks and drinking, and not heavily drinking, but you know, the occasional Aperol spritz. And the swim in the ocean, the beaches that I love, all that, of course I did. But I also love to work and be with you guys. So that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. Hope you enjoyed it. And look for more videos. Look for more stuff. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, all that good stuff. And I'll continue to provide more information to you guys for some trades next week. All right? Good stuff. Take care, everybody.